pressure. My name's Lew Findlay. I'm married to Miriam. And we have a thing about Palmerston North. We've been involved in the community in Palmerston North now for well over 20 years, both of us in different directions. It's quite good going out with her when I'm her husband, when I'm introduced. We are very different at home. We're very green, if you like, but people don't know it. My wife's a radical recycler, and every now and then I'll put things in the wrong bin. And I'll tell you what, I don't forget about it for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And we're quite proud as a household. We've saved 740 kilograms of CO2 in the last 12 months. So we are very aware of the environment. There you go. Just a minute.
Good. Pass it on.
Good evening. My name is Brent Barrett. I'm a current city councillor. I've lived in Palmerston North for 25 years and first joined council in 2016. I currently chair the Sustainability Committee. I'm endorsed by the Green Party. That doesn't mean that I'm a puppet. It means that those are my values. And that's really important, that you have values and accountability around those values when you cast your vote. So for the Greens, that's around people and planet. Looking ahead, my priorities for the city are first that we're future ready. So that's around climate adaptation, resilience, also getting on top of emissions where we can. It's around transport, it's around housing. My second priority is around an inclusive city, so that's making sure that our communities are well connected and everyone has a place and a role to play here. And my final priority is around ensuring that the city is affordable for all of us. So that's what I'll be working for should I have the privilege to be re-elected. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for your interest and concern around the environment.
Thank you. I've just been frantically reducing my speech. Kia ora, I'm Kaydee Zabelin. I'm standing for re-election and I'm a Green Party endorsed candidate. And 3 years ago, I said that I would bring positive energy and long-sighted vision and the courage to question the status quo and challenge it. So since then, I have championed climate action, biodiversity, food security, work to protect Māori wards, and I've called out dodgy process, and I've stood up for the grassroots groups that are doing the real work on the ground. I think a core role of councillors is protecting our environment, because the decisions that we make now will shape whether our city can withstand the shocks ahead and now. That's why I fought to safeguard biodiversity and climate budgets. We've backed Sponge City initiatives, and we've worked on green corridors and enabling those community resilience projects. They aren't just good ideas, they are lifelines for us all. We already have really strong foundations. We've got resilient infrastructure, fertile farmland, we've got flood protection and decades of ecological restoration, all done by communities with council support. So I do my homework, I ask really hard questions, and I'm not mucking around.
Kia ora koutou, my name's Michael Morris, I'm standing for Mayor. I'm standing on 3 platforms: justice for non-human animals, justice for the environment, and justice for marginalised people, which is all related. As far as my environmental credentials go, I'm a professional environmental agitator. I am actually paid by an iwi to be an environmental policy planner, advocating for a better environment, which includes things like consent hearings, looking at biodiversity, 3 waters, to make sure that they comply with both environmental and iwi values. So, my third platform, justice for non-human animals and justice for marginalised people, they're related because people who are happy, trusting in an equal society generally are nicer to the environment and nicer to animals. Thank you.
Kia ora, my name is Tobias Nash. I was born in Palmerston North and I've lived here on and off for most of my life. I'm a secondary teacher. I've been here since 2017 in this run, where I came back for a teacher training, and I volunteer for the Samaritans and stand on the local board. And also I've been volunteering for the Red Cross Refugee Settlement Volunteer Program. I just finished a 3-month placement, which I'm very glad about, because I have to work pretty hard not to get too busy with all the different things that I'm trying to do. So the platform that I'm standing on is looking at youth violence and community well-being. I'm trying to build a network of concerned young people to try and reach the youth who are most at risk and are most likely to get into trouble. As to the question of the environment and what the council can do, I think there's a lot more than people think. It can be tempting at times to think it's a big world and there are big problems out there, and what can we do to fix it? But the council has 2 main roles. One is managing the local environment, and then secondly, we can also do things here where we start local and build up. You can begin with a scalable, small thing that you can build up. And I think that's something that we can really work on locally, is building up our own industrial capacity and electrical, zero-emission vehicles, that kind of thing.
Kia ora. My name is Nelson Harper. So my background is chemical engineering and environmental engineering. So I'm also chair of the New Zealand Institute for International Affairs. I'm a board member for Just Zilch. And I've got a strong history with the Environment Network, having worked there for a couple of years. So in my time with the Environment Network, I was involved in the Source to Sea biodiversity side of things, and the Plastic Pollution Challenge, where I was running events, giving up my weekends to go and climb into the streams and pull out all the rubbish. We pulled out mountains of rubbish. I helped launch the Repair Cafe, which is still going strong. And I run a business called Precycle NZ, where we work with councils and large businesses in terms of helping them reduce their environmental impact, helping them recycle more and send less waste to landfill in a way that is more efficient and saves them money. And I think this is something that I can bring strongly into council. You might have seen me at some of the events around town with my team digging through the rubbish and the recycling. So I'll do the same and work hard if I get into council. Thank you.
Fantastic. I'm Cameron Jenkins. I have 1 minute for a trade unionist. That is very hard, but I will stick to it. So I believe that I'll be able to bring the charisma, uniqueness, nerve and talent to council. I currently represent the rainbow community and tenants. Given that 50% of our city is renters, I genuinely believe that we need to encourage renters and tenants to do what they can to progressively support and improve the environment that they are living in. If we get all citizens involved, we can improve the environment for everybody. Thank you.
Very well for a trade unionist. Don't press anything, do I? G'day. My name's Adrian Phillips. I live in the massive city of Ashurst. Over the years, I've been involved with many community projects. I was involved with the Recap group. And some of you may remember a shop in George Street called Wildly Inspired, which I established, which was Palmerston North's first wildlife shop. I'm a member of Ashurst Wetlands Group, and I'm a life member and serve with Worldwide Fund for Nature. Professionally, I bring 40 years business experience to the sector. I know how to read a balance sheet, and I know how to negotiate. So those things are critical in terms of environmental issues and working with disparate groups. My strength lies in those areas of collaboration and negotiation. In terms of hands-on conservation experience, I've been part of the development of Arana Park in Christchurch, worked with the Devon Wildlife Trust, Barnell Trust, Sparkwell Zoo Big Cat Project, supported Forest of Life Project at Massey. Love to work for you. Let's look after the Manawatū.
Tēnā koutou te iwi o ngā pūtaiao. Good evening, the Environmental Network of Manawatū. My name is Riddick and I am standing for Mayor. As a current conservationist, I have a passion for our environment. I work with ngā whenua rāhui, restoring some of our whenua back to native bush. I work in some of the most remote locations on our two islands, and I have a passion for our environment. I believe that Palmerston North needs to have a more sustainable living and native look. No one comes to New Zealand to look at exotic trees. They come for a native look. So one of my priorities would be for any tree that needs to be removed would be replaced with native to give Palmerston North more of an Aotearoa New Zealand feel. That's me. Anything else you need to know? Hey, haere mai, kia ora.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayne Dunlop and I'm proud to be standing for the City Council this year. I myself grew up in the Manawatū and now together with my wife we're raising our young family here. And for me, I've got a background in secondary school education before moving back to Palmerston North to join a local business here and now work in the middle of the city, which gives me a great insight into both the strengths and the challenges that our community currently faces. I'm standing for council because I believe Palmerston North is a great place to live. It's got a whole lot of opportunities that are there, but we need to make sure that we continue to make good decisions to enable that to continue to going forward. For me, it means making sure that we're keeping our rates affordable for people, making smart investments in infrastructure and community facilities, and ensuring we set ourselves up to thrive long term. I believe we can take a balanced approach, and by doing this we can achieve growth and development without losing the qualities that make our city unique, but that requires thoughtful planning and making deliberate decisions about where our priorities lie. Cheers.
That was quick, thank you. Kia ora everybody, nice to see you this evening. I wish I was standing on a platform, then I'd be a bit taller. I'm Rachel Bowen, I'm standing for re-election to Palmerston North City Council. Our council provides an absolutely brilliant range of services and community support. And of course, we're covering the basics, roads, water, rubbish, but there's also our incredible libraries, museums, reserves, pools, theatres, green spaces, and the list goes on. And it's that stuff that makes this a fantastic place to live. But we do have to get better at valuing what we have and looking after it. And council has a crucial role in that, in protecting our environment at both the policy and the community level. And I hope we get to talk more about that as we go through tonight. Councillors can work collaboratively to foster educational programmes, we can promote grassroots projects that empowers residents, and we have a responsibility to ensure that council operations themselves are sustainable. I'm committed to listening to the community's concerns about climate change particularly, and working transparently. So, Rachel Bowen, thank you.
Nei rā taku mihi mata kuikui ki a koutou katoa I tau mai I tēnei pō. Welcome everyone, and thank you for the invitation to be here tonight as well. My name is Debi Marshall-Lobb, and I have served on the Palmerston North City Council for the last 3 years, which I feel has been a privilege and a pleasure. Part of my responsibility has been that of Deputy Mayor. I also hail from Manawatū, from Rangitane, and as such I have a cultural responsibility. My husband and I have raised our 4 children here. I was the establishing principal of Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Manawatū. The karakia I started with today, and I normally translate so people understand what exactly I was talking about, acknowledge Ranginui, Mother, Father Sky, Papa Tuanuku, Mother Earth, and all that nurtures it, because the kai we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe nurtures us. By Jose, God, it goes really quick, but it's a privilege to be here and happy to talk later. Kia ora koutou.
Good evening, I'm Jack Ko, and I will be the first Chinese if I'm elected. So, to tell you about myself, I'm an acupuncturist, and I also environment activist because environment affects everyone, so everybody has to put in an effort to make this place more livable. So I came from Auckland, and I'm involved in founding a food bank and also the community garden, so that people can recycle the food that they can eat, and also they can teach them to grow food and then they can share to eat. And that's why environment is just like a pool of money in the bank, and we are drawing from the bank, and one day if we are not careful it will be gone quicker than usual. But if we do them slowly, it will last for a longer time. So everybody has to participate in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Kia ora koutou katoa. I'm Lorna Johnson. I'm a current councillor and standing for re-election. I'm standing as a Labour Party candidate so that you can know what my values are. And I'm standing because I think it's very important that we have people on council who are committed to community, who will speak up for community services and community facilities. And I am going to answer the question, which is how council can protect the environment rather than what I personally have done. I think I'll just focus on 2 things, given the time. The first one is council has a leading role to play in advocating for reduction of carbon emissions. Our council, for the first time, when I came on in 2016, established a goal of reducing our own carbon emissions and reducing citywide emissions. And we've invested $1 million a year into a low carbon fund to make sure that that happens. Our emissions are dropping. We need to work on the city emissions. Secondly, through the district plan, council has a big role to play in resource management. Thank you.
Kia ora, my name is Richard Woolgar. I am a water infrastructure engineer. So I've had the privilege of my career to work on the pipes, pumps and treatment plants that help keep the city running. In that time, I get to basically see all of our water infrastructure and a lot of our assets that go towards protecting our environment, and I see them up close. I've been waist deep in our wastewater treatment plant, and I've seen the good things that are around that sort of space. The reason why I'm running is largely, one of the reasons is for my son, is because I don't want him to inherit a city that is broken down and leaking and doesn't work. And that's why I believe that we need to start planning for the future and building a city so it's secure and resilient for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 and 100 years on.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming too. My name is Dave Poppelwell. I'm a 30-40-year career broadcaster in radio and television around New Zealand, managed radio stations. I've been in the international hotel business, the construction business, and I'm also a commentator at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway here in Palmerston, as well as a musician and all sorts of other bits and pieces that you don't want to know about. I'm standing for Council for Fiscal Responsibility, common sense, which I'm finding these days ain't that common, if you pardon the parlance. And these days I'm working in medical science. When you go for your blood tests at the Palms at MedLab, I'm usually the face you see behind the desk. Environmental is a one only opportunity. I believe every decisions that council makes should have a net cast over it from an environmental point of view. If it works, then let's tread carefully. Let's only leave footprints. I know it's an old expression, but it's very, very important. I'm a big supporter of coastal and native bush. I grew up in Stewart Island and in Invercargill around that area, and I certainly want to contribute to the council with a decent environmental footprint here. Thank you.
Kia ora, my name's Karen Naylor and I've had the pleasure of being a City Councillor now for 9 years. Mads asked us to answer the question what role councillors can play in helping to protect the environment. So I just wanted to acknowledge, as council, we determine the goals, and one of those, we've got 4, and the very important one is to have a sustainable and a resilient city. And we've got many outcomes that we've identified as to achieve that goal. And I just want to acknowledge the very important role that Environment Network Manawatū plays as our sector lead in helping achieve that goal. That just goes a long way in terms of interacting with the community to achieve that goal. So if re-elected, I'll continue to work constructively, listening to the community and keeping your best interests at the heart of my decision making. Thanks.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Zulfiqar Butt. I made Palmerston North home about 25 years ago when I came to New Zealand for the first time. I served as an elected councillor, city councillor between 2019 and 2022, and I'm standing again because I think we'll need informed decision makers around the council table or next council table. My background, I have a degree in natural resource management, in forestry and geology, and I did the first greenhouse gas inventory on an institute level at Massey University while doing my PhD on IPCC guidelines. Regarding the question we were asked how a councillor can help us protecting the environment, I think we should make sure that the council sets realistic local environmental targets, and then we should act as role models. Like you might have seen Brent riding a bike all the times or riding electric vehicles. We should work as a role models, and then we should monitor how the council is implementing its policies. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Zakk Rokkanno. I was born in Palmerston North, and this is my second time around in the election campaigning. Did it last in 2022. I have very, very strong beliefs. I am very fiercely independent. I don't think party politics are very constructive, because everything we need to do to run our city, to further initiatives to make it more connective and more community orientated, those issues need to be sorted out and rated and prioritised based on them themselves, their needs, not because of any group party politics. Environment is a key issue. We live here, we have to make sure our environment is protected from our local community to global environmental situations like climate change. What we do now, we are looking after our future generations. We need to know that they can walk in a park 100 years from now. And we need to have cost-effective methods to make sure that this all happens. And that Kiwi sounds very aggressive. I'm going to sit down before it bites me.
Well, kia ora everybody. My name is Orphée Mickalad, and I'm running for both mayor and council. The reason why basically I'm standing, well, first of all, I've been serving as a city councillor for the past 4.5 years, and it's been an honour and privilege of my lifetime. It is an honour, and I mean, it's something that I do not take lightly, and my goal is to continue to work hard on behalf of Palmy's many and diverse communities. Well, the reason why I'm standing for council and something that's relevant to this particular group is because I believe that cleaner rivers and greener spaces are essential to making our city a better place to live, work, and raise a family. And as your mayor or councillor, I'll continue to support pragmatic and sensible solutions to better manage our wastewater, protect and restore our city's biodiversity, and also advocate for attractive and safe spaces or accessible spaces and recreational areas, parks and walkways for leisure and sporting and outdoors activities. And I'll also, I'll now also work hard to strengthen our emergency management preparedness and climate change contingency planning, ensure that our systems and networks can respond effectively. I hope to get your support. Thank you.
Kia ora, good evening. My name is Vaughan Dennison, and I am seeking your re-election. I've been around the council table for over 20 years, actually, representing yourself, working hard for better outcomes for our city. And the Eco-City strategy that we've developed a number of years ago has centred on protecting and enhancing our natural and built environments, and we've put in a number of paths up into Arapuki and up to the Tararuas that have engaged us in those natural settings, alongside the shared pathway along the Manawatū Awa, which has been very popular. And so I'm very proud of those type of projects, been key in championing the recycle wheelie bins in the 2000s, which has got a great uptake, and we're looking at different streams that we can take out, like food waste, out of that waste stream. I'm involved professionally with Homes for People, and we've been building medium density housing, and I know that's important to try and keep affordable housing at the forefront and making efficient use of our land. And those are some of the things I wanted to continue to champion. Thank you, Vaughan Dennison, for council.